Maybe it's a test for us.
Ja, je kunt het.
Prima.
Are you moderating
Yes, no.
Henri, or no? No.
Nee, eruit.
No? Okay.
Hij echoot wel.
There's an echo.
Okay.
You hear yourself? Sorry, hoort u uzelf als een echo? Of,
Nee, ik hoorde jullie. Ja, ik hoorde mezelf zeggen.
Okay, I'll try to speak. Is it okay now or not?
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah? Still an echo or without an echo?
No, it's okay now.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much.
Are there any students? No.
Not yet.
no, well, let's not mention it.
Oh, Jesus.
Fingers crossed. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, welcome everyone. According to our time zone, it's evening, so good evening. My name is Ayhan, and I'll be presenting about the education mathematical engineering at Fontis University of Applied Sciences. Today with me, Jonas.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm a student from this course specifically, and I'm here to give you some insights in how this international course will be from the eyes of a student, from the perspective of a student.
Thank you so much. So before we start, now we need to think about your expectations for this webinar and our expectations from you. So to start with, it's like what can you expect from today's webinar? So the first question you might have, of course, is what is studying in Eindhoven and the Netherlands all about, and what about studying mathematical engineering in particular, and what employment, career opportunities do you have after graduation? And then we move to what choices do we offer at Fontis School of Engineering, and then we end with things that you need to know before you apply to our study. Of course, what do we expect from you? Just to be connected, and that's it. Of course, if you have any question, you're welcome to interrupt, or maybe you can drop your question in the chat, and then we will gladly answer that question, or the questions you've got, of course. Here we are. This is our beautiful country, the Netherlands. It's a small country, but it has lots to offer, I promise, especially when it comes to education, culture, and I don't know. It's like I can think of plenty of things that this country can offer. And this is our Fontis Engineering. This nice building in Eindhoven. I'm not sure if you know the city. I'm sure that you know Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Eindhoven also is a very big city with lots to offer, especially when it comes to education and data and, of course, engineering.
Fun fact.
Did you know that before?
Yeah, well, I'm
I'm international myself, by the way, so this really surprised me.
It didn't
It's
surprise
a
me.
fun fact, but okay.
Not the least, not the least.
No.
Um,
Do you know that there are more bikes than Dutch people in the Netherlands?
Yeah, well, as I said before, it doesn't surprise me. It's the first time that I read this fact. I can definitely see why. I know plenty of people that have like at least one bike, like at the city where they work, perhaps another bike at home, perhaps a third bike for leisure activities. People in the Netherlands bike. If you can't bike, don't worry. But the
Steal
transport-
one. This is the motto in the Netherlands. Maybe you
Sorry?
can steal one. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, well, you should
No, there
never be
are
told to
plenty
learn.
of bikes for everyone. Now, this is our university. It's called HBO in the Dutch educational system, which means Universities of Applied Sciences. Fontis is one of them, one of the biggest universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands, with more than, I think now it's more than 40,000 students and several locations in major cities, and of course lots of study facilities and more than 120 programs. Of course you can have the programs full-time, part-time or dual. Actually this is Fontis Engineering again, and we are now, if you can see the photos about the Dutch version of our study. Now, Fontis School of Engineering offers 5 international bachelor's degree programs. So we have electrical and electronic engineering, mechatronics, mechanical engineering, automotive, and our program to be mathematical engineering, data sciences. Now, the title for now is mathematical engineering, but I think when we start our education, it will be converted into applied mathematics with specialization data sciences. So data science will be the same, but I think mathematical engineering will be converted into applied mathematics. Starting moments. Now, February and September for the first two applyings, but for our education, mechatronics, automotive, and mathematical engineering, it will be September only. So bear that in mind. Keep that in mind that it's only in September.
So that's right.
Now, this is the building. Okay, tell us about the building. What do you think of this building? Nexus. We call it Nexus.
Yeah, it's for me as a student, it's actually a new building because we recently moved. Sort of proud because we used to have the study in Tilburg, which is a nice city in itself, but it just doesn't grasp the what this study is about, and thereby moving to Eindhoven to the Nexus. It's well, as I experienced it, it's a modern building. It has
it's a new one, yeah.
Yeah, it has wonderful facilities. You can have your lunch here, you can dine here, you can reserve a room to study in a group if you like.
Maybe let's say actions speak louder than words. Maybe they can see something about this.
Oh yeah, let's,
this building. Okay, sorry.
Oh, some. Let's get this.
A technical problem.
Did have a video prepared here, but
yeah.
oh, there we go.
Now it's on. Now it's on.
There's.
Okay, that was the building with lots of physical activities from that guy. I'm sure maybe you can do something like this. Now to our next slide. Okay, so the question is, why studying mathematical engineering at Fontis University of Applied Science?
Specifically at this facility, well, first of all, I think there's a great informal ways of communicating with, for instance, the teachers, but also the facilities. If you want to reserve a room or just need some information, it's just convenient. You can just talk to the person that you need to talk to. There is this habit in the Netherlands to use another form of you if you want to talk to, usually like a professor or a lecturer. I don't think it's. I have never had to do that. It's like talking to someone.
Oh, so you're talking about the atmosphere here. But
yeah,
maybe if we can concentrate more on the content, let's say
the
subjects, like why mathematical engineering? Because of what? Why it's so important?
Well, mathematical engineering, first of all, it is used pretty much in anything that I can imagine. The only places where you don't see it actively is where the people that are using it don't realize or want to use it, but don't really know how to use it yet, which is obviously where the students come in. The uses for this are like abundant.
So what you mean is that data is everywhere, and we are now fully dependent on data and our daily communication, businesses, and maybe life. Of course, we have a personal approach, international character when it comes to the education. We have involved teachers, involved
Definitely.
students as well. So this is mutual and a very, very nice environment. And when we talk about the environment, I'm talking about the culture. As an international myself, I won't exaggerate if I say that this country has plenty to offer when it comes to diversity, freedom of choices, freedom of expression, educational programs, fun activities, social activities, lots and lots, loads of things to think about when you come to the Netherlands. I'm dead sure that you won't regret it if it was this study or another study, of course. So this is our new program, Mathematical Engineering. The Dutch version is well found, is well grounded and rooted here. I think we celebrated the 25th anniversary of our Dutch version just a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Jonas, people know the Netherlands when it comes to the main tourist attraction, Amsterdam, or the airport. And when it comes to economy and the seaport is Rotterdam. But then we are so proud here in Eindhoven to call it the brain port. This was really interesting. Now, when I first read about that, I was surprised. The brain port, what does that mean? So if Amsterdam is the tourist attraction, money lies there, and then brain.
It's like the heart of the
like
technology, of the brain, of the, well, obviously the use of data, and mathematics cannot be left out in those circumstances. I've spoken to some people, and well, not everyone agrees on this, but I think like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, they're large already and they're settled. And Eindhoven is definitely growing, and it's growing on the basis of the thing that we are doing at the moment on the premises, because it's growing on the technology, on the data, on the science, on the brains, pretty much.
And is it only just the Eindhoven region, or also the whole region there?
Well, I would say Eindhoven is at least like the epicenter of it. Like this is where it happens. But there's like if you go to the cities near Eindhoven, you can still see the influences. But I would say Eindhoven is the place to be if you
so there
if
is
you're thinking
a lot
about
of data and engineering going on there.
Yeah, well, the data is going on all over the world, obviously, but we're using
yeah.
it here in Eindhoven, and we're working with it.
I like the subtitle about it. It's like the high-tech region of the Netherlands. This is so significant. So, as I said, if Amsterdam is the main tourist attraction, Rotterdam is the center gravity of money, then Eindhoven is the high-tech region for data and engineering and data science, of course, in the Netherlands, and maybe I won't exaggerate if I say in Europe as well. What can we offer you?
Let's quickly go through what's written on this slide. We're talking about the study as a whole. First of all, there's a wonderful connection to dozens of companies that definitely want students to do the thing they are taught at this study.
And what can students do there?
To keep it brief, I would say these companies are generating and using, mainly generating lots of data, but they can't really get a good use out of it without the use of the mathematics that we use. So it's if you're talking about a late project, and that's like if you're 3 years into the study, I'm not sure if the study is still 3 years. But like over halfway.
Of course, the program, we're going to talk about this later. The program is.
Oh yeah.
You have 4 years.
4 years. Study, so if you get like past halfway, you realize there's lots of data available, but the CEO just wants like a traffic light to act on, and not vast spreadsheets of numbers or letters and stuff like that. So there's this translation that you can make from
Interesting. You talk about translation, and then it can be translated in minors, and internships, international exchange programs, and different projects together with other programs, maybe with other companies, international companies, local companies here in the Netherlands. They all use data. They all need data scientists. They all need mathematicians in order to function properly.
I'd say so. Worst case, they don't know it yet. But in most cases, they do know, and they want to, or they already do, but they want to get better at it. It's everywhere in that case. And there's plenty of companies actually coming towards the study just to give guest lectures. I know we have a slide later on about that, but these are things that the study offers. Like you get these connections with companies to get a grasp of what you can do with the mathematics that you learn at the study.
Okay, now this is what you refer to. So it's not 3 years. So this is mathematical engineering, data science. I need to emphasize again that the title, the name will be changed to applied mathematics. We will keep the data science. So it's a bachelor degree. It's full time. It's in English, and duration of the study is almost 40, or precisely 48 months. And the degree or the title you've got after graduation is Bachelor of Science. Of course, Jonas briefly talked about the areas, the interests of math and data in this region. Maybe you can tell us also about the program itself. What are the subjects? What are the core subjects that we deal with as data scientists and data specialists?
Okay, well, there's some jargon. There's some people disagree on how to call it. I would say, if you don't know anything about this study yet, I would usually say it starts the foundation of really statistics or data analysis. So you're using mathematics to an easy example that you might already know is to just check what's the average temperature of this year. But this is high school grade, so like you get a repeat of stuff like this in like the first few courses that you get, but then you elevate this to more useful, more specific measures of what the numbers actually mean.
So you're talking about using mathematics to analyze and to make predictions and maybe to evaluate and find solutions to specific problems based on your mathematical knowledge.
Yeah, and to give meaning to those problems and to the solutions. As in, just an average isn't exactly a direct meaning, but to give meaning to it would be to say, like, you should stock up on raw materials for your ice cream next weekend because there's a peak in the expectation, stuff like that. And we can use, this might surprise you, but we can use mathematics to predict these kind of things purely based on what happened in the past. It is not foolproof, but it works quite adequate, I'd say.
Now, of course, these are the core subjects, or let's say the special skills, or the subjects that you are going to face when you come to mathematical engineering at Fontis Engineering. So you're going to deal with statistics, of course, modeling, this is foundation, simulation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, computing and computer science like programming, data handling, data modeling. Of course, you will have the basics when it comes to mathematics for operation research and the logistics, and of course, the calculus, or what we call engineering mathematics here. Now, apart from this, there are other skills that are really important when it comes to universities of applied sciences. Professional skills, mindset, presentation skills, the ability to work together with classmates, with workers, with projects, or with, let's say, with your teachers. Internationalization. the intercultural awareness you've got, how to deal with other cultures, other situations. I can say lots about this. It's my domain. But we work on your professional skills as well, research, ethics, your personal development, communication, as I said, presentation. And these skills are not, let's say, a luxury. These are part and parcel of the whole educational process in order to grow personally, professionally, and of course as a mathematician.
Can I quickly add a little bit to
yes,
this
of course.
professionalization thing? Because there have been, well, it's just a brief notice, there have been people that left this course, which is obviously a pity, but they decided they wanted to do something else, not mathematics, that's fine, but some people did genuinely like emphasis on the fact that this professionalization helped them get through their lives in more situations than just the mathematics. I mean, it's a proud thing of this study. Some people loathe it, absolutely loathe it, but it's a widely used thing. So yeah, I think this is a strong key point to the study in general.
Yeah, do you know
just
what we say
mathematics.
about these skills? We say that your core skills, special skills, might get you an interview, but your soft skills will get you the job done.
Exactly.
So we have this focus because we are business oriented when it comes to universities of applied sciences, that we focus on these skills. We focus on you as a professional, not just as a mathematician. Now I have another video for you, and here it's about the duration of your study and what you expect to have for each year, each semester, and maybe quarter. So maybe we can play this, and then we bring another slide after that to explain.
It's a brief summary of the...
Problem. Okay. So this is the structure study for the 4 years. What do you expect to have in these 4 years of your study here at mathematical engineering or at Fontis Engineering in general? Actually, it's for all the programs, not just for mathematical engineering, it's for all the programs here.
At Fontis School of Engineering, you will be educated to become a skilled professional. This is what your study time looks like. Your bachelor studies will take a total of 4 years, or 8 semesters. A semester is a period consisting of 2 quarters. A school year contains 2 semesters and 4 quarters. Each quarter, you will study for 10 weeks, 7 or 8 of which will be class weeks, 2 will be exam and project completion weeks. During the first year, you will have 2 semesters covering the broader theory. You will conclude each semester with a group project. Have you obtained all your credit points at the end of the first year? Then you will receive your propedeutic phase diploma. During the second year, you will further develop your theoretical knowledge and skills. Just like the year before, you will close each quarter with exams and/or projects. In the third year, you will choose a minor which lasts 20 weeks. You will broaden or deepen your knowledge. You will choose where and what your minor will be yourself. You can even go abroad if you want. You will also work as an intern at a company for 6 months in order to obtain practical experience. During the fourth year, you will dive deeper. You will specialize in a subject of your choice. During the last semester, you will graduate at a company. In summary, you will learn the theory, you will dive deep into the subjects by yourself, you will have practical classes in our innovation labs, and you will determine the contents of your studies yourself. Good luck with your study!
Okay.
I'm back.
Now maybe it's time to talk about projects. And of course, I'm not sure if you recognize this brand, Bavaria.
Oh, definitely
it's so
do.
famous here, and we have projects in the first and the second year. Of course, in the first year, you need to work with your classmates, let's say 4 or 5 students together. After that, in your second year, you work with 3 or 4 students. Then you go to your third year and you have your internship, and then you work with another student, so 2 of you. And finally, when it comes to the graduation assignment, or say the last or the final internship, then you have to work alone. So you've got the full responsibility for delivering the product for, or the final or the end product for your graduation assignment. How did you experience projects, Jonas? Maybe you can tell us about one of these projects, like with Bavaria. Are you familiar with this one, the electric?
I can't unfortunately not tell you
bus,
anything about this one. No, not
SML?
about this one either, I'm afraid. But this Bavaria thing, I think, is quite interesting. At least that's the one that I can tell you something about. Because it was presented to me as like a genuine company that came towards us with a problem. Like they wanted to know how much of a specific kind of beverage they would have sold on which during which moments, and they just let us use the data and get on with it. And from these moments, you realize that the perfect data on your tests and on your homework, that data is just too perfect. The reality isn't that perfect, and you get to use more skills that you learned over the course of the years. I think it was a second year, like during the end of the second year project, and we were using it to sort of predict the sales. We had a great, we experienced quite some liberties doing this project, but then again we were actually hands-on using, it is quite a well-known brand, so hands-on data from a large company, and you could actually see like certain patterns, build a program that could extract some useful information, because they were giving us lots of information, but they weren't, like this information was just raw data, and we got in small groups. I think it was the group of 4, something like that. And yeah, we just got on with it, and we made some predictions, and we see like some predictions are obvious, like warm weather, more beer, to sell more beer during warm weather. Some predictions were not so obvious, like specific dates seem to have better or worse sales, and well, you just get to realize that this data is sometimes it's not easy to work with, especially if you compare it to the test data or the data that you use during your homework. But then again, it's sort of fun to see that there's that the data is rather alive, I'd say, and I think
So
this
even-
project showed
even-
this
what-
really
what
well.
You mean that even when you enjoy your drink, you think of data as a mathematician?
Well, yeah, sort of. Like it
Or
goes
you
back
use
anywhere.
data, of
Yeah.
course, to predict things. Okay, now we've got this project as well. It's about electric buses. I'm not really. I don't know the exact or the concrete points about this project, but what I know that it's about how to reload the buses when using the data in order to know the exact time and way of reloading and recharging these buses.
And to do it efficiently, that's a big thing in these things. I think, like they used to like reload them every evening, every night. But if you want to cut corners, you can't really reload every bus every night. You need to make sure that this is going in an efficient way and predict what will be.
Back to it. Actually, this is what we're trying to do is Fontis for society. So it's like green energy and sustainability. So in projects, you work together and you learn how to work together. It's not just about working together. And you want to develop yourself on a personal level or a professional level, and you want to understand problems and solve them with mathematics, of course. And of course, we can't forget programming when it comes to these projects. Now, aside from the content of this study, also you as an individual matters. So I know that it's a new culture, new codes for you, so maybe it's a good idea also to keep an eye on you. Of course, not stalking, but trying to help, and this is why we do have student counseling. You have your career counselor, and of course you have homework guidance. You study together, and maybe you can discuss things with classmates, and maybe other Dutch students are around, so you can get help. Also, you get help from your teachers, supervisors. It's an let's say it's an open policy or open door policy here, so you can ask questions. If you have problems, you can just call your counselor for a meeting, then you can get together and you can try to solve the problems. Of course, also working with your classmates can make things easier for you. If you still have a problem, then maybe it's a good idea to talk to a psychologist, to a dean. We try our best to make sure that we make your life in the Netherlands productive and at the same time as easygoing as possible. So we try to help all the way. Of course, you need to help yourself by trying to, let's say, trying to see around and then try to appreciate the culture. Just by walking Eindhoven, by the way, you can see different aspects of diversity and the sense and different languages, different shops, and yeah, you can say that we can share our similarities and celebrate our differences, and this is what Eindhoven is about. I was talking about Eindhoven, city of students. More than, I think now it's more than 35,000 students in Eindhoven, and we have different educational institutions. Now this is HBO, which is in English the literal translation will be Universities of Applied Sciences, and then you have Eindhoven University of Technology, and this is MBO High School. Students and study associations, festivals, culture, diversity, fun activities, you name it.
It happens right here in Eindhoven.
In Eindhoven and this region. Of course, all over the Netherlands, but because we're talking about Eindhoven now.
Specifically
so
here in Eindhoven.
Yes, this city has lots to offer when it comes to activities you can participate in as a student. Your future. A data scientist or a data specialist. What does that mean? Of course, now, I know that there are two paths. So the first thing is just to try to find something you are interested in and then try to work for a business, for an international one, local one, here in the Netherlands, maybe abroad. Or maybe you want to continue your studies with master's degree. The chance is also great here. So you can have master's degree in artificial intelligence, of course, data science, industrial and applied mathematics, digital technology engineering, and many others. But if you decide to work as a data scientist, then you have lots and a variety of several businesses that they can embrace your own experience and knowledge. So consultancy, transport company, distribution center, production company, healthcare organizations and institutions, and of course engineering companies. And if you look here, it's like I'm sure that you know Philips, like engineering company, and then you have Medtronic, which is also for healthcare institution. I'm not sure if you know any other companies.
There's definitely, well, ASML, I think is well known around the world as well, making even smaller and smaller microchips, if I'm not mistaken, or something along those lines, wafers. It's not my company, unfortunately, so I don't know it that well. But the thing is, this is a brief list. The amount of kinds of companies that you can be meaningful to, it wouldn't fit this slide. Even if we just stick to like key points, like a consultants company or all the consultants company, it wouldn't fit the slide. You can literally help any company you like, and as well as for for the later studies, I've been having conversations with people that were studying at university college, and they were using the same mathematics that I was taught here at this very study.
So what you mean that data scientists or specialists, this can fit in almost any kind of business?
Yeah, I'm
when it comes
confidently
to businesses, or,
I'm confident
or
on
the
that.
opportunities or the chances for
Pretty much
someone
anywhere.
who studies mathematical engineering, or if you say applied mathematics with data science major. Yeah, advantages of studying at Fontis. Of course, you can have access to University of Eindhoven here, Technological University of Eindhoven, and the Sports Center. Of course, you can work, you can use it from home, the website portal, and student card, and discounts, free access to university libraries, and of course, all the labs on campus. Other activities, or you can call them extracurricular activities. You can be part in the Eindhoven or the study association. You can have homework support and guest lectures, sport and fun activities. As we said, as we mentioned before, that you can be engaged in lots of activities, fun activities in the Netherlands, via the university, via Fontis, or of course via other associations that are linked to Fontis University of Applied Sciences. Now, it's vital to mention these practical matters when it comes to your registration. So it's about the admission, tuition fees, and other important things to consider before coming to the Netherlands. Of course, we've got only the overview, but we have an email, and then if you have concrete questions and you need concrete answers, then maybe it's better to send an email with the question. However, we've got an overview for you about the admission requirements here and how to apply, and the tuition fees. Of course, now the admission requirements is like of course, you know that you need diploma in higher or secondary education, and we need IELTS for the language proficiency. So IELTS or TOEFL equivalent to 6, and of course subject requirements depending on the program. We're talking about mathematics here. You need to check all the info. You can use the study link and how to apply. You've got all the deadlines for the registration and the tuition fees and other practical matters when it comes to the visa, study cost, funding and scholarships, also about the accommodation. Let me focus on accommodation here. It's not easy to find one in the Netherlands. Housing in the Netherlands is really it's a problem to be dealt with. So it's true.
Yep.
So when application is done on time, although we cannot guarantee, so this is so important that you know that we cannot guarantee, we provide assistance in finding suitable student accommodation. The density, number of residents in the Netherlands, number of internationals in the Netherlands, it's a very, let's say, crucial problem when it comes to accommodation. Make sure that you deal with this if you decide to come to the Netherlands. You're welcome, but you need to make sure that the accommodation, or at least you have a chance of finding accommodation. Of course, Fontis, they offer housing, but for a limited number. It's so important, for a limited number of students, and you have to fill in the application, and you've got the deadline, and of course you can find a room yourself, commercial, by housing agencies, or if you know someone, if you have relatives here, I don't know, it's like using social media, and don't say those, I want to live in Eindhoven. Go for the suburbs, the villages around Eindhoven. Don't worry, public transport is there. And it's efficient, so you don't have to worry about public transport. But even if you cannot find a room or a house or accommodation in Eindhoven, it means that you need to expand more to try to look for other opportunities, maybe the suburbs, villages, but make sure that you deal with this. So, and of course, as I said, social media, and I don't know about deals sometimes, but if you are unable to secure suitable accommodation before you come to the Netherlands, we regret to recommend you to reconsider starting your studies at Fontis until the situation improves. It's not just a problem for students, it's a problem for everyone here in the Netherlands when it comes to accommodation. So this was really important to mention, so you don't get frustrated when you come to the Netherlands and then there is no housing or accommodation. You have to deal with that beforehand. Now, if you have any question about the practical issues that I mentioned, then study engineering at fontis.nl. This is the email that you can use in order to ask questions, and then you will get concrete questions, concrete answers. Sorry. Yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for joining us, and maybe we can have 15 minutes or 10 minutes for your questions, if any.
We'll stick around for a bit in case there are any questions.